Hello and welcome back, G-Man in the Studio Lab. Today we continue an introductory series of videos covering modular synthesis, this time dealing with filters, what they do, how to patch them, and a few tips and tricks. First, a quick recap. The filter is the second block in our typical synth audio path. The filter's job is to take the raw audio sound coming from the oscillator and remove certain portions of the frequency content. We are interested in filters that can take control voltages from other modules as well. You know it as a VCF, voltage controlled filter. Since filters are removing portions of audio frequencies, it will be helpful to see this. Enter the frequency analyzer. In this case, I'm using an old bit of software called Ozone 3. It shows us what frequencies are present in our sound. Here's what a noise looks like. It has a very broad harmonic content. All ranges of the audio spectrum is about the same intensity. When I put the noise through my Pro VCF filter, I can change the frequency cutoff. Notice the highs are rolling off first. This is a low pass mode filter. Only the frequencies below the cutoff are passed through. Notice that some frequencies above the cutoff are still present. That's because our filter roll-off slope is 2-pole, or 12 decibels per octave. My Pro VCF offers 2-pole and 4-pole switch option. If we flip the switch to get a steeper slope of 4-pole, or 24 decibels per octave, less of the harmonics above the cutoff are allowed through. So what's going on here? This is an oversimplified filter diagram model. Our filter is actually a composite of filter stages. Each stage receives the same frequency cutoff voltage. For each stage we add to the model, we get more filtering of the frequencies above the filter cutoff. So cascading 2 filter stages in series, we get a 2-pole roll-off slope characteristic. If we cascade 4 stages, we get 4-pole roll-off. It is the roll-off slope that is still allowing some of the frequencies above the cutoff through. And the reason why, if you want to completely silence the filter, our typical synth patch introduces a VCA to gate the sound. We'll talk about VCAs in a future video. Next up, we have a high-pass mode filter on my JP6 VCF. As you might expect, when you sweep the cutoff, only the high frequencies will pass. Notice this filter has 2 switches. That's because this is actually 2 cascaded 2-pole filters. Right now I have both selected for high pass, and we end up with a 4-pole roll-off slope. But supposing I select low pass for the first filter and high pass for the second one, we end up with a bandpass filter. Only the frequencies surrounding the cutoff band will pass. That is the reason the bandpass is also called a peak filter. Here the 2-pole low pass and 2-pole high pass are working together. The resulting roll-off slope for this bandpass mode is also 2-pole. A filter that can offer a variety of modes is known as a multi-mode filter. Let's take our filter model and think about doing a feedback loop, feeding the output of the filter back into the input. This is an oversimplified diagram of feedback. The actual circuit implementation will look different with different designs. What ends up happening is emphasis of the frequencies around the cutoff point. Emphasizing or boosting the cutoff frequency is called resonance, also known as Q on some filters. If we push resonance hard enough, it can start to ring and squelch. That's because our filter is actually trying to act more like an oscillator, and why we call the ringing of the filter to be self-oscillation. So now we know resonance, or Q, is emphasis at the frequency cutoff, but not all filters can self-oscillate all by themselves. But filters that do self-oscillate, that means it can howl without any signal at the input, and the filters that self-oscillate can actually become a sound source. When you look at a filter's self-oscillation, it is usually a big ol' sine wave. On many filters, this sine wave can track volts per octave, so it can be played in a musical fashion. My XA VCF is such a filter, so let's do this. As we've seen in my introductory video, I want to control the pitch of the self-oscillation using an external keyboard controller. Here I have an Arturia KeyStep Pro. but I can use any controller device that offers volts per octave pitch CV output. I'll plug the pitch CV output from keystep and into the input labeled keyboard, or it may actually say volts per octave. Turn the resonance up and the frequency to minimum. Now when I play up and down on the keyboard, the filter self-oscillation should be able to track each note. There are other ways to modulate the filter frequency than using simply keyboard tracking. We can modulate the filter cutoff using a VCO. Here, I already have one VCO going into the filter audio input. Now I patch a second VCO output into one of the filter CV inputs and turn up the amount. We can change the VCO frequency to our liking. As well as the filter CV amount. We can take the VCO frequency down low. The effect is similar to tremolo, but we're not controlling loudness, we're controlling filter cutoff. And now I think you're ready for a sneak peek at a modulation called an LFO. An LFO spits out a waveform with frequency below human hearing. Therefore, LFOs are not a sound source like a VCO. And the reason why LFO means low frequency oscillator. LFOs are made specifically to be a modulation. I'll be using an LFO offered by a company called Feedback Modules. We'll substitute the LFO for our second VCO in this same patch. We'll take the LFO output, here I'm using the triangle output, and patch that into one of my filter CV inputs for controlling its frequency. I can still change the LFO frequency. I can even change the waveform shape of the LFO. There are a few filters out there that can have their resonance modulated. My Pro VCF again is one such filter. We'll use our LFO again. This time I'll change the LFO output going to frequency and instead patch it into the resonance CV input, CV3. I can change the LFO frequency and the filter CV amount. Hope you've enjoyed this video on VCF basics and that it's given some insight. In my next video, we'll enter the world of voltage controlled amplifiers. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.